Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Dave TV for the 6th month for June the 15th, 2013. 2013. So I'm looking at today's Washington Post. We have one fewer newspaper in the Washington area today. The Examiner is gone. I don't know. I could go into the Examiner. I don't know. I think the paper. If you want to be a righty-leaning tabloid, that's fine, but you're not serving the market. This is a left-leaning market, and a lot of people I think liked what the Examiner was doing, but wouldn't read it because of the politics. And I talked to a lot of people like that. They go, "Oh, that Examiner." I said, if you avoid all the political commentary in it, it's not a bad little paper. A lot of people I saw would go, I'm not reading that. So it ain't around anymore. At least as a local newspaper. Anyhow, I'm reading this in today's Washington Post style section. The Saturday style section is usually pretty worthless. It's usually pretty awful. But today, there's at least a couple things mildly worth reading. This is pretty good. This is, Ben Mankiewicz. Okay, if you watch one of my, probably, if I could get cable TV and they said, just pick the channels you want, I'd pick about 5 or 6 channels, and one of them would be Turner Classic Movies, and say the rest of the other 3,000 channels, forget it. But anyhow, Ben is the there he is. He is a host on Turner Classic Movies, one of my favorite channels. And I love the channel, and I think he's great. And I never realized his whole history before, but that's his dad. That's his dad, Frank Mankiewicz, who's 89. And you know what? I didn't realize this until now. I met his dad back in college. I was at James Madison University at Harrisonburg, Virginia in the late 70s, and I was a communication arts major, and we had some sort of I don't know what it was, some sort of a dinner or something, and we invited the head of National Public Radio, because I worked at WMRA, 90.7. I did some newscasts on the station. It was in the tape library back in the day before they had satellite feeds. We all got tapes. UPS truck would pull up with a bunch of big tapes, reel-to-reel tapes, and these were all the shows we would run. And I would have to, they would come in, and I would have to organize them and put them. Here's where the whatever show goes over here, and pile them up and make sure we had all the episodes, and shuffle them around. And that's what I did. It's kind of fun. But anyhow, so we were having some sort of a banquet dinner or something, and we invited the head of National Public Radio down, Frank Mankiewicz at the time. And we all met him and shook his hand, and he had a nice little speech. And he was a big lib. He was the manager of George McGovern's campaign, of course, back in '72. What did George win? Did George win any? George won. He won one state and the District of Columbia, right? He won Massachusetts and D.C. And that's it. Nixon took everything else. But anyhow, so there. I didn't realize. Ben Mankiewicz is his son. Ben grew up in the Washington area with Frank, obviously working in Washington during the 70s and 80s, and Ben was here. And so there. That's really cool. I probably saw Ben walking down the streets of Georgetown and didn't even know who he was, but. It's funny how things come full circle. Anyhow, so then I'm reading through the paper here. Oh, look at this. Paul Farhi piece on CBS News reports computer breach there of Cheryl Atkinson's report. You've read about this, I'm sure. I'm not going to go into it. But Paul Farhi does the piece on here, which again brings me back to the point where who was pretty much reporting the story yesterday was, of course, Erik Wemple at the Post. Here's Erik Wemple in his piece. And, Erik Wemple gets a link on Drudge. This was early in the day yesterday because I saw this come up. And, 1,300 comments. And, so Erik's all over the story. And if you have one reporter all over the story early, on Erik Wemple's Erik Wemple blog there, the Temple of Erik Wemple. If you have one reporter all over the story already, why do you need another one to write it up? I just don't understand that. You see this all the time. Erik Wemple, who's a perfectly good reporter, probably better than Paul Farhi in many aspects, breaks the story on the Post website, writes it up and covers it all in depth and everything, and then Farhi comes in and writes up the little dumb shit piece in the Post, in the print edition. I don't get it. there's some weird stuff going on. It just doesn't seem like a very efficient way of doing things. But it happens over and over and over again. So I don't know why. But anyhow, I kind of wonder what's going to happen with Erik Wemple here. You know, I look at a lot of his posts here on his blog over the week, and I'm seeing, okay, I don't want the ad to come up. Why did the ad come up? I'm seeing, okay, he did get 1,300 comments for that one, but a lot of the other blog postings here don't get a lot of traffic. You know, the Washington Post now has a paywall up. It's going to be interesting to see if a lot of these blogs, like Erik Wemple's blog and DC Sports blog, there with Dan Steinberg and stuff like that, continue getting the traffic after the paywall goes up. Because, you know, I'm not seeing the paywall because I subscribe to the Post. You know, I used to pay the full rate, $57 for the full week plus Sundays and the TV week and everything. And I called them up about a month ago and said, hey, I'm tired of paying that much. What can you do? And they gave me $22 every 2 months. $22 every 2 months. So that's like $10 a month, which I said, so that's fair enough. Now, I talked to some folks who said, you know, you could have gotten even lower than that. If you said no for the second time, they would have come back with an even lower rate. So there you go. But anyhow, you got to wonder what's up with them and their blog posts and how that's going to work. Noticing over there at Fishbowl DC, they're bringing on quite a lot of, you know, it seems like Betsy Rothstein's presence is being diminished. She still works there, but the snarky blogger that's universally disliked by just about everybody seems to be a lot less of a presence on Fishbowl. They've got a number of new people writing on there. And again, while the traffic doesn't seem to be up, it does seem to be taking a more sane direction, more in line with some of the other Media Bistro blogs. But anyhow, this is Betsy's best post of the week. It's kind of silly, stupid thing how she compares Roger Ailes looks like Alfred Hitchcock. No, you know, she's the first person who ever noticed that. She like, golly gee. Of course, no comments, no likes, and only 2 tweets. That's pretty typical for Betsy. But if you notice their site there, they've got they took Eddie Scarry off the list of contributors, and they put this guy named Justin McLaughlin on. And then you have Austin Price, who's, you know, he's doing a lot of their writing, and Justin's doing the writing. And then you still see Peter Oddball there occasionally writing about Gene Weingarten or whatever. But, you know, Betsy's kind of, she still does a post now and then, but it's a lot less Betsy, and that's a good thing. So anyhow, I'm reading this post piece on Ben Mankiewicz and my days at WMRA down in Harrisonburg at JMU. And I'm thinking, you know, I have a WMRA bumper sticker. So I reached down to look for my bumper stickers. I have them in a pile there at the DCR-TV archives in the other room. And I found a whole bunch of other bumper stickers. But I had to bring this up. I actually saved one of these. I have a Tower Records bag. I miss Tower Records. You know, a lot of stores come and go, and this one went away a couple years ago. I love Tower Records. It's one of my favorite stores of all time. And I still, late at night, think, you know, on a rainy Sunday where there's nothing to do, I say, I just wish I could go down to Tower Records and hang out for a little while with all the weirdos and look through the piles. Look at this one. Somebody sent me this a while back. Gary's Discount Records and Tapes, Connecticut Avenue there. I've never been to Gary's. Never been there. Somebody sent me this bag. It's also yellow. I wonder if there's a lawsuit there. You stole our yellow bag. But anyhow, so I was looking for the bumper stickers. And I didn't find the WMRA bumper sticker, but I did find other ones. Remember this one? WDCU Jazz 90. This is C-SPAN radio now, 90.1 WCSP, but it used to be Jazz, WDCU, in between. But then remember, it used to be WGTB, you know, the progressive rocker there from Georgetown University, many moons ago. But I actually got a whole. Somebody sent me a whole stack of there. But if you want to bump, I should auction a couple of these off. You know, they'd be kind of freak people out putting these on your car these days. But it's a cool station, WDCU. So anyhow, what else did I find? I found, got a whole bunch of, remember this one? Progressive WHUR. That's a cool one. And then a bumper sticker, remember this one? WMAR, FM 106, hot hits! And some bumper, here's one, Magic 102.3, and WCBM. I should just stick all these on my car. Just put them all over the back of the car. Look at this one. Kicks 106, 105.9 now, WMAL FM. Give him steel. Gary, remember Gary D? He got in a lot of hot water. And then, of course, Kicks 106, another one for them. They were also on 7:30 a.m. And, of course, okay, this is the Grease Man. What's this? Oh, the Grease Man there. This is, way after his DC 101 days. He was down on the Jacksonville station, Rock 105. This is fairly recent. And, okay, here's a classic Q107 bumper sticker, WRQX, back when they were a top 40 station. And, okay, then we go back to the old remember before WMZQ on 98.7, it was oldies WMOD. So that's pretty cool, huh? What else do I got in here? Okay, put this one up. Hammerjacks. A great Baltimore club. And another one for MZQ. I MZQ in my car, 98. Okay, that's pretty cool. But I still can't find the WMRA one. Nope. Can't find it anywhere. Can't find it anywhere. Z104, Hot Stereo Rock. This was Frederick. I forget what the call letters were. WZYQ. That's it. WZYQ 103.9, Z104. And they were also on 1370 AM. That was a cool station. I liked them a lot. I don't know. Of course, one last one. Here we go. Look at that one. That's a great one, huh? Big K Radio, WKCW 1420. WKCW. This was a really cool country station back in the day. Big K Radio, WKCW. Pretty sure on those calls. I mean, my brain's going. And then, of course, when I dug in, looked for the bumper stickers, I had to come up with this too. The Don and Mike, World of Don and Mike, Volume 1 CD-ROM. I'm going to have to play this someday. So I still haven't put this in the computer. I got to find a computer old enough to run it. I still have an old Windows 95 computer somewhere. So I'm going to have to put this in and take a look at that. All right, folks. That's Dave TV. Memory laden for today. The Saturday, the 15th of May, June. We're June. Thanks for watching. Book 'em, Dano.